Welcome to learning a little bit about Junior Hedgehog. Hedgehogs are well-loved creatures and voted Britain's favourite animal, and is well known from children's stories such as Mrs. Tiggywinkle. Hedgehogs are Britain's only prickly mammal and one of a few true hibernators. From November to March, when their insect food is short supply, hedgehogs hunker down in nests made from layered leaves. They emerge in the spring, hungry and looking for mates. Hedgehog-type animals are thought to date back to 56 to 34 million years ago in the Eocene period, when the earth began to cool and the grasses appeared. However, fossilized remains of spiny mammals were found recently in Spain dating back 125 million years ago, suggesting a much longer history. Our hedgehogs are widely distributed across the UK. Adult hedgehogs have up to 7,000 spines, which are used as a defense against predators and falls. Spines are attached to individual muscles and are embedded at different angles, creating a formidable force which, when raised, hedgehogs have a skirt of skin bounded by a muscle that acts like a drawstring, pulling the hedgehog into a tight ball. Although nocturnal and often missed, hedgehogs leave signs of their presence, footprints and droppings. The droppings are often dark, little finger-sized, and are full of insect remnants. Hedgehogs eat predominantly beetles, caterpillars, earthworms, and they sometimes eat slugs and snails, eggs, carrion and other mammals and chicks. After 4 weeks in the womb, baby hedgehogs or hoglets are born with their eyes and ears sealed and spines underneath the skin. After another 4 weeks suckling in the nest, they go out foraging with their mother before becoming independent and solitary at 6 to 8 weeks. 20% die in the nest, but adults live for an average of 2 years, sometimes up to 5. Hedgehog make 3 types of nests: a day nest, which can be just made at the base of long grass and as a summer shelter. Hibernation nests are made of leaves for the winter, for example cherry, oak, lime, under a structure to keep them together. The nursery nests are made by females or sows to nurse their litters in, and they are often made of a mixture of materials. Hedgehogs are in decline in Britain and are now on the list as vulnerable. According to the largest State of Britain hedgehog reporting, numbers of hedgehogs have fallen by 30% in urban areas and 50% in rural areas since the millennium. There is no single cause, which makes it harder to tackle. Loss of nesting and foraging habitat throughout the development of urban areas and hedgerows being removed reduce the carrying capacity of the landscape. Hedgehogs may struggle to find somewhere to breed and hibernate and try to find enough food to survive. Fencing and the lack of connectivity through hedgerows can result in limited movement and isolated hedgehog populations. This can have a genetic effect. Eventually, the population may become unviable and locally extinct. Badger numbers are increasing, and with 485,000 in England and Wales, they predate hedgehogs and fragment the landscape where hedgehogs avoid them. They also compete for food, for example worms and beetles. The relationship is complex, but hedgehogs are decreasing in areas where badgers are absent too. Up to 335,000 hedgehogs are estimated to die on British roads annually. Habitat modelling suggests that suburbs and villages are hotspots, and with 9% of Britain's road networks classed as dangerous for hogs. Roadkill peaks in the summer months, and roads also further fragment the landscape and may reduce hedgehog density by 30%, impacting local populations, especially isolated ones. Hedgehogs are often brought brought into rescue centres and veterinary practices with garden injuries, for example, from strimmers, nettings, dog bites, etc. Little is known about how this affects a population because there's no centralised recording of information from wildlife hospitals or hedgehog rehabilitation centres. Chemical treatment on land, pesticides, etc., can perhaps lead to poisoning, but largely reduces the invertebrate diversity and abundance. This can increase hedgehog mortality rates and impact fertility. So basically, our hedgehogs are really struggling, which is an extremely worrying thing. As you can see, Junior is now currently having a rest in the doorway of the house that we put up for him. He has access in and out of the garden. He's got 2 ways in and 2 ways out. I'm calling him he, but it may be a she. There's been no activity as of the 17th of December. All the leaves in the front entrance are quite fluffy. They've not been downtrodden. So we can assume perhaps that he's actually hibernating. I don't know if he's in the box. One thing that we don't do is open the lid to take a peek, because that could potentially wake him up from hibernation and make him extremely vulnerable to passing away. I do, however, leave out fresh water, which I replenish every day, and I leave out hedgehog food in a specially designed little hut that other predators, other animals can't get into. Maybe the odd mouse, but basically if he comes out, there is food readily available for him so he can have a munch and go back to bed. We're hoping that somebody's in there. The box that you can see above is incomplete as a shelter, because we have put a lot more logs and sticks that we found in the forest, so it smells very woody, not man-made. So yeah, that's all like a complete mound of dead leaves and what have you. Oh, I've just seen a little mouse on the video there. He's just gone behind the actual shelter. So, animals cohabit quite readily. So I will leave the rest of the video for you to watch and enjoy Junior, collecting grass and just mooching about. And yeah, hopefully in the spring, when hedgehogs reappear back in the garden, that Junior is one of them. And who knows, we may even see some hoglets. So fingers crossed. They do have multiple sites. This is something that I forgot to mention. They do have multiple sites for hibernation, even when they're starting to get ready to hibernate, and they do pick the best one eventually to have a snooze in. I think it was about a week ago I did find some hedgehog poo in the garden, so somebody had been out and about, but my camera wasn't working then. So anyway, as I say, enjoy the rest of the video, and back with you shortly.